It's a new year, which means we're getting a new WWE 2K video game. This, of course, is a good thing. Video games are fun, as are new things. But that doesn't mean we can't all get on our high horses and start screaming about what we want, like children who don't want to have a bath. But let's just get on with it. I'm Simon from WhatCulture, and this is WWE 2K18 and the 10 most wanted new features. Number 10, a complete game engine overhaul. I remain impressed with what 2K has been able to do with the WWE series each and every year, and genuinely think the last couple have been the best in ages. But I can also tell that we're still using a pretty old engine here, and surely the time has come for a brand new one to be introduced. I completely understand how hard that is, especially as the developer has to meet a yearly release window. If this was going to happen, the team should probably take a year off, but there's just so much more that could be done if this did happen that the fact it isn't makes me sad. So I'm now literally crying because of a game. That's not cool. A new engine would not only mean better graphics, better gameplay, better animations and better character models, but it would also open up the door for so much more to be achieved in-game. There's elements here which you can tell have been hanging around since SmackDown, and that came out in 2000. Most of you weren't even born then. Ultimately though, it would be a win-win, so I hope it happens soon. Number 9, better commentary. WWE certainly isn't alone in this one, as a lot of sports games have terrible commentary. Just inane and pointless catchphrases being blurted out as and when.
Hey look, the old times would say these guys are harder to miss than they are to hit.
2K is its own worst enemy in this sense, however, because the one series that has got this right is the company's own basketball game. NBA 2K's commentary is so good at times you forget what you're experiencing isn't real. It's on point, funny, interesting, and authentic.
That was the worst analogy I ever heard in my life.
No.
So why on earth this can't be ported across to the wrestling side of things is baffling. Whoever is announcing for a WWE game always sounds horrendously insincere. It was made worse in 2K17 when outtakes were actually left in. So halfway through a match you'd hear Jerry Lawler realise his error and correct himself in the recording booth.
Oh, you're right. Ready?
Come on, man. Come on. Number 8, the return of old match types. As we've already established, I'm, and you, are children, so the one thing you definitely can't do is give us something and then take it away again. All we're going to do is shout and scream until we get it back. With this said, 2K18 has to feature more match types than any other game in the franchise's history. 2K17 didn't have tag team table matches, and didn't have tag team ladder matches, and didn't have an Inferno match. This is just the tip of the iceberg because there's more, but if it can potentially be done in the WWE, you can bet your ass I want it in the video game version. Plus some of these have been in older iterations, so don't strip them away. Add, when you've done that, add some more. More recent entries certainly haven't felt empty, but I would always rather they were packed full to the brim. An array of different match types would help this no end. Number 7, optimize customization. The customization suite is one of, if not the most popular features of any WWE game. People love to make themselves and then pretend they've actually made it to the big time. It's like a dream simulator. Unfortunately, this suite does suffer from not being so user-friendly and getting bogged down with load times. This is why WWE 2K18 should smooth all this out and make the whole experience fun. Thankfully, the creation tools are excellent once you get to grips with them, so as long as 2K can sort other elements around that out, everyone will be super happy. Number 6, better online. WWE 2K17 is not so hot online. It's buggy, confusing, and a bit of a mess, to be honest. That ruins the entire purpose and means it may as well not be real. And in 2017, that just shouldn't be the case. 2K understands how important the community is and gets it right everywhere else. So this year, the online portion of the game has to get all the attention so that when you play against someone on the other side of the world, you can do so without wanting to pull your own hair out. Online multiplayer should reward, not punish. When something is this bogged down, eventually just give up, meaning a whole mode is now cut off from you. And that is not fair. Number 5, better value DLC. The hardest thing about developing a WWE game is keeping up to date with the roster. It changes so frequently you can't blame them for not being utterly up to date when release day rolls around. This, however, does make DLC imperative to the WWE 2K experience. How this is executed, however, is up for debate. Take WWE 2K17. One such DLC package was being able to buy Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson, but given that they had been with the company for ages at this point, having to pay for it seemed unfair. There's nothing wrong with doing that, but 2K needs to find a way to make these sets have more value, especially when it's for wrestlers that many will just assume are there to begin with. Number 4, bigger story mode. WWE 2K's career mode is fine. It does the job it sets out to do well, and you'll definitely get something out of it. With that said, it can feel a little lifeless on occasion. This is mainly because it's a career mode and not a story mode, and there is a difference. No WWE video game since 2003's Here Comes the Pain has tried to pull this off properly. That's 14 years ago. So, now is the time to change all that and allow players to pick a member of the WWE roster and go through a pre-planned narrative with them, especially as 2K introduced the promo engine last year. Think how good that would be if you could cut an interview as your favourite superstar as well. Sometimes guiding us down a determined path is the best way to go. Well, let's just do that, and let's go there. Number 3, Kurt Angle. Right, Kurt Angle and WWE are back under one roof, which means we need that in every aspect and not just for the Hall of Fame. We need him in the game, and we need him in the game now. This is even more important when you remember we haven't seen him in the franchise since SmackDown vs. Raw 2007. He could even be the cover star if you want, or make him the pre-order bonus if you really can't get him in any other way. Whatever happens, just put him in. We don't know what matches Kurt will have in real life, so let's have our dream contest digitally instead. Number 2, the return of 2K Showcase. 2K decided to admit Showcase from 2K17 and had some good reasons for doing so. Ultimately though, this series was better with it, so let's just bring it back. If we look back to 2K16, all of a sudden you're flooded with memories as playing with Stone Cold Steve Austin, and the nostalgia that brought was awesome. It's like a history book come to life, and there are plenty of ways to justify its return this year. Why not go all in with Kurt Angle and let us go through his career, or do the same with Brock Lesnar? Hell, why not The Undertaker, or tie it into the WWE Network and just let us pick some random classic matches? There's nothing wrong with using WWE's legacy to build a mode around. 2K18 should embrace that. Number 1, GM mode. When SmackDown vs. Raw 2009 landed, there was one huge area of disappointment. General Manager mode had been removed and left dreams shattered on the floor like broken glass. It was a shame because GM mode allowed you to tinker with brand rosters, make your own matches, and let your own storylines play out in front of your face. It was basically putting you in the shoes of Vince McMahon, and Universe mode has never really been able to replicate that. Given that we had the brand extension last summer, there's even more reason to bring this back now. And you could even work the rivalry between Mick Foley and Daniel Bryan in if you really wanted to, or go one step further and get Stephanie and Shane McMahon involved too. There's huge scope to make this a proper selling point this year, so it's time to make it happen. Or else. Know of any other things you want to see in WWE 2K18? Let us know in the comments below, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. You can even come tell me on Twitter, @Simon316. I'm Simon from WhatCulture, and I'll speak to you again soon.